Wow, I'll tell you what, that makes an impact, doesn't it? And did you like the part in the middle about a wedding? We've got Pastor Neil Thompson with us. Hey, good to see you, Neil. What do you reckon? You perform marriages, don't you?
Well, I do, and I tell you what, there's some weddings that are just, made in heaven. There are other weddings that are almost like disasters take place, like flowers fall over and things go wrong. And
in and of themselves, they're a disaster.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but this is talking about a beautiful wedding.
It is, all right.
Yeah. Now, this deep impact, it matches the Bible story a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I mean, there's a story out of Daniel 2, we'll look at a bit later, which talks about this asteroid kind of thing that hits the earth and it grows into an entire mountain that fills the earth.
And then in St. John in Revelation talks about the same time there's a great big wedding party.
That's right.
Yeah.
The party to end all parties. It's right there at the end of the ages.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely beautiful bridesmaid, wonderful party, fantastic celebration. Here's the question we're going to answer in Bible time. What on earth is God doing throwing a party?
Well, as we all know, that when you look at things, movies like Deep Impact, they're all the same. They follow a similar formula where there's a great disaster of some kind, and then at the end of the disaster, the couple meet and they live happily ever after. And the Bible stories, in a sense, not that much different. And we resonate with the truth of those stories because there is a happy ever after. And at the end of this world, as we know it, at the end of sin, God has his own celebration.
Oh, okay, so there's always a superhero rescuer.
There is.
Yeah.
And that's why we resonate so much with those stories.
Well, the question, is it just a story? I mean, those Hollywood movies, after all, are just stories. Is the Bible story just a story?
Well, their stories are actually, interestingly, based very similarly along biblical lines.
Okay.
And I think they're just drawing from that. And it is a very true story coming.
Well, Neil, people are asking me, and they really do, particularly those who have graduated from university, or they're atheistic in their intent, or they know about the scientific world, and they say, hey, how can you trust the Bible story? Isn't it just another story? Sure, Hollywood movies are based on Bible stories, but they're just great themes. How on earth would you trust your future to just a story? Well, I'd like to take you back to the flood story. We're going to go visit, though, not the land of the Bible, but in Peru, South America. Now, when you travel to the Andes Mountains, you're going 3 kilometres high into the sky. And when you get up to the top, now you fly up, you don't walk up, you end up with headaches from lack of breath. But up high in the Andes Mountains is the first place that the people of the South Americas actually lived. Their stories go, why did they live so high? Because they were afraid that the world would get covered with the waters of a global flood. Yes, just like you find the story in the Bible of a blockbuster-sized disaster, an amazing flood that sweeps the entire earth, only a few are rescued by a superhero deliverer. Noah is there on a boat and only a few are saved. So too you find elements of the same story high in the Andes Mountains in South America. This is the land of Peru. In fact, at this particular temple called the Temple to Huiracocha, here, before the Christian missionaries arrived, the ancient peoples told stories of a great God who created the entire universe. He created our world, he created humans, he breathed upon them breath, and from earth they were formed and then they gained life. That first race rebelled against him. They became violent until one day the sky fell down. The rains fell and the earth was covered with water. Volcanic eruptions, great explosions, the fountains of the deep are opened up, just like it says in the Holy Bible. This was the beliefs of the ancient people in Peru. And why are they living so high in the Andes Mountains in the most ancient times? Because they're afraid that this might happen once more, once again. Reminds me a little bit about the blockbuster movie out at the moment called 2012. They also had predictions about the end of our current age. Now, when I travelled to that particular place and I began to think about the Bible story, I was wondering to myself, can you trust the Bible story? I absolutely believe you must be able to, because after all, you find the stories from the Holy Bible around the entire world.